Hi guys and girls, your anime crazies, Stargirlnice here. Welcome back to my channel where I review and react to different kinds of anime I can get my cheeky little hands on. Here we are with another video today. I do hope you enjoy. This video is just a review about the episode we've watched today. If you'd like to see the full reaction, click on the link down below. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys there. Ciao for now. Whew. Well, episode 14, what are you doing to me? Oh my goodness, I should have kept a box of tissues. I knew it was going to make me cry. And what do you know it? Careful with the microphone. I am bawling my eyes out. Oh my gosh. I was so tempted just to stop the video to grab a tissue. My glasses still got a little bit of tears on them. But, oh my god. I knew that was going to get emotional because as you all know, I've seen the old Fruits Basket anime. And there is a, heart-wrenching moment there. But, oh my god. Even though I knew it was coming, the speech Momichi gives and everything the speech Momichi gives and the visuals that went with it, the kind of flashbacks we see with his mum, it was well done in this. Oh my god. And you saw how dark the show gets with how Momichi's mum's face when she was in her despair, bandages around her arms, her face looking like, oh dear god, do not meet her in a dark alley, grabbing the pair of scissors, and it looked like she tried to kill herself. So it got dark. It got dark. If they hadn't, designed the episode to black out at that point, I don't think this show would be good for any eyes at all. That is just absolutely, I think that is the darkest we get in this episode. Not the show. I'm not saying the show. I'm just saying this episode. But it was so heart-wrenching that Momichi, even though still loves his mum so dearly, he had to give up the right to call her his mum in public. He still calls her his mum, but he can never tell her, shall we say. And I think he has all right to be selfish, to say, no, please don't forget me. Please fight for me. But yeah, it's sad to say that all parents of Zodiac children rather turn into overprotective parents or, despise their children altogether. And that's awful. Both those ways are awful. Oh, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't want my mum to despise me, but at the same time, I wouldn't want her to be way overprotective, because that's a helicopter mum, and helicopter mums are just. I luckily don't have one, but I've seen shows of those, and I've seen even like documentaries of those, and they're frightening people, like tiger mums as well. I wouldn't be able. If someone said, pick which mum you would, to have, you have no other options, this is what you're stuck with. Oh dear God, I couldn't pick. I could not pick. Can you? Would you be able to pick? If you were a Soma, if you were a Zodiac child, and that's what happened, and you would rather have an overprotective mum or a mum that didn't want you. Oh, that. Can you comment? And I'm asking you guys, can you comment to that? And if you can, leave in the comments below what would be your answer. That's a tough one. I mean, that just shows how dark the show can get. And I think it can get even darker. Like, to the point where the, oh my goodness, when Momichi's mum gets asked, you know, do you want to forget? Will you regret this? And her reaction was, I regret giving birth to that thing. Wow. That's just disgusting that someone would say that. And yes, I can understand a normal person's reaction to this. This is so hard for me because I come from a very loving family, thank God. And I can never even imagine, and not even dare to imagine, because that would be even more rude, to be in that kind of situation. My heart goes out to Momichi. And yeah, I mean, some people could freak out with this. Well, can. If this actually happened, someone would freak out and react that way. But I'm with Momichi, him being selfish. I wish she did fight for him and not give up or try to, herself. And do you think that Momichi's little sister knew who he was? Because she kept looking back at him. So I think she does. I think she does know him. Or maybe kind of know and is not allowed to say. Who knows? Who knows? This episode, I just... Waterworks just broke out. I think if you need a good cry, you watch this one. And I'm glad Toru gave him a hug. He needs it. You really needed that hug. As this episode progresses on, I know we still get a little bit of sad in there because, of Momichi's speech, we kind of see Toru on the day that she runs to the hospital and crying at her mum's bed. Oh. But I like the fact that they're both alike, that they don't want to give up their memories no matter what they are, good or bad. Memories that can make you cry and you still don't want to give them up. That's an impressive person. Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. And we all experience things that are painful. That can hurt. And some memories can take you to some really dark places. Even experiences can do that to you. But saying that you don't want to forget them, no matter how painful they can be, that takes a strong individual to do that. And I'm not meaning by strength. I mean by mind and heart. To go through a lot of, I don't want to swear, a lot of poo. To go through all that and still have a smile on your face and say, I don't want to forget. I want to keep my memories. That's just impressive. That's Toru and that's Momichi. Those two are, and no wonder I love them both. They are wonderful characters. And you wouldn't think that Momichi is this deep and responsible and so wonderful heart, big-hearted person. In the really beginning of the episode where he's playing cops and robbers at a high school. And how cheeky he can get at certain situations. Oh, I love Momichi. I'm sorry, this really got... This review just got... Woof.
But back to the next part of the episode, we go to Toru asks her friends and even invites Kyo and Yuki go visit the mum's grave. And because it's a 1 year anniversary, she wants to honour her. Toru is just she is a strong individual, but she does bottle things up at the same time. Because she's worried she would upset people around her and cause them problems when feels that she doesn't need to. But if you've got good friends, it's okay to confide in them. She thinks about people before herself, which makes her a very good person. I just wish she sometimes could be a little selfish. You're allowed. You're human. We're all selfish at times. We're allowed that. I mean, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, you don't purposely hurt someone. It's hard to explain. I've actually had to put, a situation in my family ahead of myself, even though I want to be selfish. And I've voiced that. A good example. I've voiced that. Alright, how do I explain this? I have family who live overseas. That are my parents. They moved overseas 8 years ago. And yes, I do get to chat to them through FaceTime whenever we get the chance, but sometimes that's once a week or once every 2 weeks. It really does depend. And sometimes I won't see them in person for a year, 2. There has been about 3 years before. And it's hard. It is really hard. And I was lucky to get to see them at the beginning of this year, because they had to go back and sort some documents out, which took about a month to do. And they stayed at my place, which was absolutely lovely. And when it got close to them leaving, they had discussed with me what they were going to do. And for about, and they said maybe they'll stay a little longer and come back after a few years, or maybe stay a lot longer. And both those answers did break my heart, and I want them to stay. Because they're my parents. And at first, I didn't say anything. Because I'm saying to myself, I don't want to be selfish. But they did say to me, you've got to be honest and tell us how you feel. So I told them, I don't want you to go, but I want you to be happy. And even though they do live very far away, I still want them to be happy. And it's kind of this situation with Momichi. He wants to be selfish and say, sorry, my computer. Okay. So it's the same with Momichi. He wants to be selfish and say to Mum, don't forget me, fight for me. But at the same time, he wants... Okay. At the same time, he wants her to be happy. And I get that. I really get that, because I've been in that situation. Whew, sorry, this got on a bit long. Wrap it up. So there's a... Sorry. So there's a couple of things I did want to mention about when Toru and the gang are at the graveyard having a picnic to honour Toru's mum. We get a little subject about Kyo, that he feels on edge of being in that graveyard. So who is buried there that's related to him? Does he want to see him or does he not? It's just that little bit got you asking a couple of questions. So we got a little bit of mystery there, which was cool to find out. Next was this is when we've hit the very end. Toru, who's fallen asleep outside after drinking some tea, and Kyo, leans over, and you think, oh, is he going to kiss her? Like a shocked kind of reaction. But he whispers in his ear, I'm sorry. Why? Kyo, why are you sorry? Why would you whisper it to her? What is going on? So there's a bunch of questions there. And not even finished here. This is all happening right at the ending. Yuki sees the hat that Toru has in her room, because, picking up papers, trying to put them back. And we have a quick flashback with her, Toru, as a little girl running to her mum and the hat flying off her head. And Yuki's face and reaction, maybe he was the child with the hat. Maybe he did led Toru to where she can find her mum again. Because I thought the hairstyle did look like Yuki's. But I thought he wasn't allowed out, and I thought he just wears normal... He didn't wear normal clothes. So, oh my god. So I love the fact the ending, we got such a cliffhanger. I don't know. Please, guys, don't spoil it, because I know you've read the manga, and I know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. So I want to be surprised on the next few episodes. I want the surprise. But oh my god, these questions! What is going on? So, this episode, we got a good cry. We can see how dark the show can get, or can get even darker. We had a little bit of humour, which was lovely. We got to find out a year's already passed since Toru's mum's passed away. We got to learn more about how things can change, and change for the better. As Yuki knew of Toru at the beginning of the school year, I think it was school year or something, and didn't really get to know her until certain events changed that, which is some little changes can cause a big change in a good way. So I think her being with them is such a great effect, not just on them, but on her as well, which is fabulous. And then we get about the hat, we get about Kyo's reaction in the graveyard, and him saying sorry to Toru. It's just so... So this is really finally starting to branch off from the old anime, the old version of this. Because in the old version, up to this episode, you can kind of guess. If you've watched the old one, you can kind of guess how the new one's going on. Get to this one, get to this episode, now you can no longer guess, which is brilliant. That's what I was waiting for. I want to finally see the real story of Fruits Basket. And I will. And I'm so excited. Well, that's it from me, guys and girls. I really enjoyed this episode. Not only did we get something a little bit new and a twist at the end, there was a new opening and a new ending. And those I reacted to separately, which you can find in the video in the links up at the top of the video or in the comments down below, wherever you want to find it. It is there. And that's it for me. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, and hit that bell. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Ciao for now.